Testing 1, 2.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon to celebrate these amazing young people, especially at what I know is maybe an odd time compared to usual school events. This afternoon, we celebrate the growth, courage, and confidence of these students, not only in public speaking, but overall. Each and every one of these students have worked diligently since September to improve upon the many aspects of rhetoric. I am so proud of them, and I thank them for sticking with the class this semester and leaving me every day smiling and excited for the next class. I also extend a thank you to all of you here today. You have all provided safe haven, support, and encouragement, and as such, we are here to celebrate you as well. Thank you to you all, and a tremendous thank you to my class. Our first speaker this afternoon is Joe Girardi. Joe knows his buzz cut looks good. His max bench is 185, but he only curls 22.5 pounds. And no,
Skylar Lamarck and Ethan Fleshman, please go with athletics.
Joe is not 5'8". Look at his permit, he is 5'11". Here is Joe.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterton. Life is weird, isn't it? You're born one day on a floating rock and are taking care of someone unknown to you. Whether it be your mother, your father, or maybe another, there's always someone there for you, keeping you in line. When you're a child, you are so naive, not knowing what your life entails. When you grow up, you get remarks like, "Oh, you were so cute when you were younger. What happened?" I'm sorry. Next time I won't hit puberty. Parents, siblings, peers all love how sweet babies are because they can't talk back, they can't swear, and sometimes all they love is them being adorable. Now, we are all grown up for the most part, and the problem with most of us is that we talk back, we swear, and I guess we just aren't adorable anymore. But the biggest problem is that your guardian does not hear thank you enough from you. Why? Is it because we think we're too cool, or is it because they yelled at us to clean our room? We should be saying thank you at least 1,000 times a day for how much they help us. But the guardians would be lucky to hear thank you once a day from some of us. Obviously, I was told to write a thank you speech. So that all goes to me as well. But that's why I'm going to say thank you to everyone in this room. Everyone in this room has affected someone's life greatly to be in this cafeteria. I hope to have an impact on someone's life like you. And I believe a thank you from a random boy just might be what you need. Yes, that might be weird, that I'm thanking everyone in here, but that's me, weird. I get that weirdness from my parents, the most bizarre and crazy people I've ever met. Specifically, my mother, which if you have ever met her, you were probably asking me, are you okay? Although she is very crazy, she's one of the sweetest and most loving mothers, and has been willing to put up with my stupidity for 16 years. Why? Well, because her heart is so full. She's taught me so many lessons throughout life and gave me the best possible chance to be successful. Of course, I cannot forget about my father. Some of you may be his patient in the dentist's office, and it might be scary seeing him here. But don't be shy, you can say hello to him. He's one of the funniest and most hardworking individuals that I've ever met, and he deserves a sincere thank you as well. When you put these two people together, you get the best parents I could ask for. Sorry to my new friends in the crowd. But my parents would drag me to lacrosse practices and tournaments, even though I would tell them no, just because they know what would make me successful and give me the amazing opportunity to pursue lacrosse for college. Every single person in this room is amazing, and every single person in here deserves the biggest thank you from the bottom of my heart. But trust me, this is definitely not because Ms. C is telling me to write this. I genuinely appreciate and amazed that you guys shaped these wonderful classmates of mine in some way. So with that, my final thank you to this class. Thank you for everyone for your attention, and enjoy the rest of these amazing speeches.
Next, we have Jack Ingles. Jack is 17 years young. He thinks Tom Cruise is an amazing actor, and also that the Empire in Star Wars should have won. Today, he thanks his besties.
There are many people that I could be thanking right now. I could be thanking my father, who has taught me almost everything I know, besides my teachers. Or my mother, who always tries to surprise me when I say there's a new game out. But there are 4 special people in my life that mean a lot to me, and they are my best friends. I have many friends, but no relationships with them can compare. The things we do to the places we go, we have gotten to know each other really close. From our family life to what we want to do in our futures. But where does this start? Back in 1st grade, I met Connor Hunt. His last name made me think that his family owned the Hunt's Tomato Company. We accidentally wore the same shirt one day in 1st grade, and I went to his house to play in his backyard. While our mothers talked, but after the playing time ended, my mom told me she didn't like his mom. Never got to see him again. Flash forward to 7th grade, where I finally had a class again with Connie. We played baseball with paper balls and pencils, but one day, Connor hit a grand slam. It hit someone in the study hall. We did not admit to it. That year is also I met Logan in football. He was a funny guy, and pretty damn good. He also was a wrestler, a great one, and used to be able to beat me, but not anymore. I met Ethan Green in 9th grade. I didn't know who he was. He was very shy, but we found out we had a lot in common. In 10th grade, I met Ben Pratt, and that's where the group got together. It was fun during quarantine. That spring/summer, we biked everywhere together. I broke 2 bikes. One, I went off a hill into a telephone pole and bent the front frame, and the other was a seat, and it was Connor's sister bike from like 8th grade. One day, I had a crazy idea on biking to the airport to see airplanes land. Ben and Connor were the only ones with me that day, and they weren't very excited. We get there, and there's no airplanes. But Ben waved at a Mercy Flight helicopter pilot. He then pointed at us to come over. So we did. They gave us a tour of their helicopter, and it was pretty awesome. I used to tell everyone that we got a helicopter flight that day, but we didn't. We then had a long bike ride home. We had done a lot together in the past couple of years. I never got to hang out with Logan that much until this year, as he was in Texas. But Ben, Logan, and I went on a long trip to New Orleans for 3 days. We were far away from our families and just had each other to rely on. We argued, but we could still be friends after it shows our true bond with each other. The past 2 years have been a blast, and I can't thank them enough through the many experiences we've had. Thank you.
Our third speaker of the afternoon is Clayton Day. Clay likes long walks on the beach, wholeheartedly believes summer is better than winter, and is a swimmer and a #1 water polo player. This afternoon, he is thanking his swim team.
I joined the swim team in 8th grade. Throughout these 5 years of swimming, 4 of that which were on varsity, there's definitely been some bumps in the road. From everything getting a concussion and the start of COVID. Swimming during the pandemic, I've learned a lot of valuable things, such as focus on now and never take anything for granted. The first couple years of swimming were normal. We did our normal team dinners, meets, and traditions with no problems whatsoever. I can recall the bus rides being super confined and hot, but other than that, it was great. My favorite part, for sure, was falling asleep on the bus rides home. But our team dinners were amazing. It was full of messing around, tipping really well, and eating a ton of food. The energy at meets was always amazing. The pool area would be full of noise, everything from teammates yelling at other teammates to go faster, and mothers in the stands cheering on their son because they won the race. But all of this changed when COVID hit. To start off, our meets were extremely quiet. No one but the teams who were racing were allowed in the pool area. We had to wear masks all the time at the meets, of course not in the pool. These changes were huge for us. We went from a loud team to what seemed like a smaller and quieter team, almost like a tiger into a mouse, even though we might seem like a mouse at times due to the amazing coaches we have on the swim team. We were determined to be the best that we can be. I can't thank the coaches enough for being here for us. Now looking back on these times, I've realized why I've enjoyed being on the swim team so much. Is because I was able to escape the real world and be able to focus on myself in the pool, and I was also able to get out doing homework. And continuing to swim throughout the pandemic, I've truly learned to take everything to not take everything for granted, because everything can change within a snap of a finger. Once again, I'd like to thank my coaches, teammates, and everyone who came out here tonight. Thank you.
Now we come to Annie Gauss. Annie is a junior in high school. Her favorite color is pink, and her favorite food is pasta. Today she is thanking her family.
I was born on June 8th in 2005, 2 years after my brother, making me the youngest of 4. I'm lucky enough to have grown up in a family with 2 loving parents and 3 older siblings that always encouraged hard work, strong relationships, and kindness. Tonight, being the last Gauss kid to present my public speaking final, I would like to thank my family. When my oldest brother was born in 2000, he set the standards high with his work ethic. I can remember being in 4th grade and observing as my brother would spend so many hours learning as much as possible and excelling in all of his extracurriculars. Surely, some of his mistakes taught me what not to do, and I'm the reason he got caught a handful of times. But 7 years later, I get to proudly watch as Edward's hard work pays off in his graduating year of college. Despite my recent struggle in trying to compare to his SAT scores, I am beyond thankful for his example of hard work. A whopping 15 months after my oldest brother was born, along came my sister. In middle school, she and I fought about clothes to the point where one time I told her I would never speak to her again. This is also my apology speech. We actually ended up making up, and I can now confidently say that my sister is a permanent best friend of mine. Last spring, when I found out that she had landed a job 3 hours away and wasn't coming home for summer, I couldn't admit how devastated I was. However, watching Winnie follow her dreams has inspired me, and I can never thank her enough for our friendship. My least favorite part about being the youngest has always been the first day of school. With every class I walk into, I'm greeted by my brand new teacher with a worrisome, "There's another one of you?" My brother David, see, I didn't forget about him. He definitely gave the teachers at WHS a run for their money. And my life in these walls always tells a news story of one of his political debates with various English teachers. However, after our 2 older siblings left for college, and David and I were the last 2 in the nest, our bond grew immensely. Despite his overly passionate views on current events in the United States, David lives by example of contagious kindness. Through my parents' stories and my aunts and uncles, I have come to the painful realization that living with my siblings at home is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, one that I'll never be able to relive. However, when we visit each other for the holidays, our loudest laughs will result from the "remember when" stories, and the bittersweet memories will give life to an amazing childhood that I've had the privilege of living alongside my 3 greatest blessings. Mom and Dad, I hope that it is evident to you the strong family unit you have built. From your example of a loving marriage to your never-ending support for your children, by virtue of sacrifice and hard work, you have provided me with a home that I am eternally grateful for. So, Mom and Dad, the next time our broken household objects and kitchen appliances cause you to miss out on sleep, know that my fondest memories are those of dancing in the kitchen, the tastes and smells of home-cooked meals, and the love you have provided me with for the past 16 years. To everyone here tonight, and of course, my family, thank you.
Emily Perez is the next speaker. Emily is a lefty, is allergic to nuts, and wants to become a surgeon. Emily is thanking her parents, Miss Pierce, and Matt.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily, as you all just learned, and as you know, I'm going to be taking some time to thank a few individuals here tonight. I would like to begin by thanking my parents. Thank you for being my best friends, my biggest supporters, and giving me endless love. But mainly, tonight I would like to thank you both for the relationship you share with each other. After a divorce, relationships change. While some may change for the worse, I was fortunate enough to have two parents who've remained best friends until this day. So thank you. Thank you for showing me what real friendship is and what real support is. You both support each other just as much as you support myself and all of my siblings. Thank you for being my endless support system through all of my ups and my downs, through my toughest losses to my biggest celebrations in life. You both have taught me how important it is to take care of yourself and others. You have shown me that life is not supposed to be easy, and if it was, where's the fun in that? You have taught me that while I will face many obstacles in my life, they are all there to help me grow. Thank you for teaching me to know my own self-worth and pushing me to try my best in everything that I do. You have taught me to let go and when to push harder. I'm beyond lucky to have parents like you, and words will never be enough to say thank you for everything. Whether it was in my sports, my future, or school, you have always encouraged me to do my best and reminded me to only do what I enjoy. And now, I would also like to take the opportunity to thank Ms. Pierce. When I met you in my freshman year, I honestly thought I would not like your class. However, as I have grown as a person and as your student, you've become so much more than the crazy, loud Spanish teacher that I first met. You've become my mentor and someone who I can always count on. Our talks in the auditorium and our daily feeling check-ins have become one of the highlights of my year. You have taught me that while they are important, my grade is not the only thing about me, that I am not just a number, and that I am enough. You've been my shoulder to cry on in school and a friend to laugh with. You push me to work harder, but also make sure that I'm taking enough time for myself as well. You've truly become one of my favorite teachers, even if I never get your recommendation letter. And last, but definitely not least, I would like to thank Matt. For those of you here tonight, you may know him as the big soccer player, the loud student in class, or maybe just Tim Cole's son. Matt, when we first met in 5th grade, I never could have imagined the impact that you would have on my life. Never could I have seen the random boy in 5th grade becoming one of the most important people in my life today. Fast forward through 8 years filled with school, soccer trips, and memories, you have been there for me through some of my best and worst moments. For the past 4 years, you've put up with my endless random date night adventures and bursts of, I want to go do something. You set your alarm early and woke up so we could go watch the sunrise and rode around Arsenal Street with me so we could play date night roulette. Reluctantly, you made TikToks with me and let me put face masks on you. From movie nights to video game dates, you were always there to put a smile on my face. When I was accepted into my dream college, you were there to celebrate and spin me around. When I was crying and needed a shoulder to cry on, you were there, no questions asked. Not only are you my boyfriend, but you're also one of my best friends. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. When I'm grumpy, you are one of the few people who can make me smile. And when I'm happy, you make that smile 10 times bigger. You taught me how to let go of things and just be happy. You've pushed me to grow as a person and to become someone who is more assertive and confident. I know that when I'm having a bad day, you're always there for me. And you know when things are off from how I act, and you know how to make me smile. From the early morning sunrises to the late night car rides, you've helped me to become the best. You've helped me to become the best version of myself that I can be. Thank you, Mom, and thank you, Dad. Thank you, Ms. Pierce, and thank you, Matt. And finally, thank you for everyone here listening.
Our sixth speaker is Mikey White. Mikey likes Legos and DVDs. His favorite color is yellow, and he is the self-proclaimed most bizarre person he could think of. Today, he thanks everybody.
Testing 1, 2. Okay. Okay, now we can begin. So, for the final speech I'm doing, I can't really think of a specific person to thank, so I've decided to thank everybody for their help in making me the person I am today. First off, I would like to thank my family, consisting of my mom, my dad, and my sister, for just helping me with a lot of things. You know, like how to eat, put on clothes, just put me in a house, a lot of stuff. It's too many to list. My family just helped me since the day I was born. I mean, my mom and dad are the reason I exist, so... Next, I would like to thank my classmates, including anybody in this cafeteria. I could thank some Pacific classmates I befriended in school, but I don't want the others to be jealous about it. But I will say they all helped show me teamwork, confrontation, strength, maybe some problem solving, and of course, friendship. Actually, a few of the classmates in this cafeteria I collaborated with in the school musical, so that's a plus. Looking at you, Hayden, and I'm looking at you, Ethan. It's okay. Anyway, next, I would like to thank the city of Watertown for setting up all those events in the city. All the parades, block parties, Christmas tree light-ups, all of it. Okay, yes, the city weren't completely the ones who prepared those events, but they still happened, so... Anyway, I would also like to thank the city of Watertown for giving us Thousand Islands Comic-Con, now North Country Comic-Con, so that the pop culture people could be given their fan service. I could also say AnchorCon, but that's in Clayton, so I don't think I can. Finally, I just really want to thank myself. For the past 17 years, I've been up and down trying to figure out who I am, and I figured out, well, actually, I still haven't figured out. I just can't believe that I've apparently touched so many people's lives already, including a bunch of people I don't even know. In all honesty, though, I can't really figure out what to say. All I can think of is just to say to every single one of you, both in and out of this cafeteria, thank you.
Next, we have senior Rose Fonfrias. Rose's favorite color is blue. She is 17, and she loves to spend money. Rose is thanking her mom and dad today.
First, there is only silence. and then quicker than a snap of your fingers, you're alive. When we come into this world, we are completely and utterly unaware of what's going on. We don't remember crying as babies or taking our first steps. We don't remember how long we kept our parents awake at night, or how much they sacrificed for us at the very beginning of our lives. As we grow up, we do gradually become more aware of what our parents do for us, but rarely do we express our appreciation. I, for one, am guilty of this, for never really saying what I feel. So today, I would like to express my everlasting love and gratitude to my parents. Mom and Dad, I know the last 17 years haven't been particularly easy. From me giving you attitude to me being lazy and not cleaning my room, you both really do have incredible patience. I want to say thank you. Thank you for all the car rides, the field trips, the late nights, and the lessons learned. For all of the support you have given me in my school and sports, making it to every game, no matter how hard your day was. And for cheering so loud I can hear you from all the way across the field. For all the opportunities you passed up for me, and for all the things you've done that I don't know about. Thank you for constantly pushing me to reach for the stars, and being there when I falter. Words really can't express how grateful I am to both of you. Mom, your heart is so big and full of love. You love to make others laugh, and I can always count on you to pull me through any tough times I may go through. Dad, you've taught me so much over the years, whether it's to think for myself or how to drive on the weekends. The wisdom you have given to me will undoubtedly guide me through the rest of my life. You are a deeply caring person who always puts the needs of others before your own. And I strive to be as brave and as giving as you when I grow up. Without my parents, I would not be the person I am today. They have shaped me into an independent and caring individual, and I'm so lucky to have them. So Mom and Dad, I love you both so much. Thank you for all that you have done for me, and thank you all for listening.
Now, we have 6-foot-tall James Monaco. He is the best driver of all of his friends, and although he did not hate the class, I think he might have hated doing the speaking portion of the class. This afternoon, he is thanking his parents and his classmates.
Honestly, this speech was the hardest speech to write for this class. I spent many times redoing it and rewriting it so it could be perfect for this day. To say I'm stressed out would be an understatement. So as Ms. Charlton said, I'm James Monaco and this is my speech. How do I thank these people? That's the question that's on my mind and repeating throughout when I wrote the speech. I could just go out and say thank you. I could just give them a card, maybe even a gift, or even just show them appreciation for them directly. That's what makes this whole thing so special yet so hard to do. There's so many things I want to say, like how my parents are the cornerstone of my life, or how my friends in this class made this a lot easier when doing speeches. People from this class definitely know my discomfort when speaking, especially in front of an audience. But everyone in this class is so supportive after each and every one of my speeches, and every time I speak, whether it be about everyday things like cars or being the ruler of the world. Everyone always seemed so interested in what I had to say and always stayed attentive to what I said. One thing I like to do is argue, and just for the sake of arguing, and I know that can be very annoying. I'm sure some of your kids do that. But that gets very annoying, especially for my dad. As much crap as I give my dad, he's always there for me when I need him, and he listens to me. He loves skiing, and he teaches kids how to ski at Dry Hill. Some of you might have gotten lessons from him. I don't know how he does it. I don't have the patience for children. I don't like kids. But I'm sure he learned the patience for that in either the 17 years he served in the military or the 17 years he spent parenting me. And he directs me for what I should do in hard situations, and he tries his hardest to be the best father for me. Speaking of thanking parents, I'm going to move on to my mother. Unfortunately, she cannot make it due to her work, but I can thank her nonetheless. She's always there for me whenever anything's going on, and she always has something going on, whether she's helping with the family or she's at work. She's always hardworking and to be the best mother I could have. If I've ever given a speech for this class, she's heard it first. She's always heard everything I've had to say for this class. Whether she finds it funny to the point of tears or overall a dumb topic, she's always listened. So classmates, mom, dad, thank you. And to the audience listening as well, thank you.
Yasmin Mustafa is next. Yasmin's favorite foods are hot pot and mochi. Right? Mochi? Okay. She also likes dragon fruit and pomelos. Also, Yasmin loves Pokemon, very much, and her mom. Speaking of, Yasmin is thanking her mom, Vina Bonner, today.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterton. As you all know, or as you have just previously discovered, I am Yasmin Mustafa. Since some of you here may not know me too well based off of my food preferences and my love for Pokemon, I'll let you in on one more secret. Up until the 8th grade, I was physically incapable of ordering my own drink from Starbucks. That's where my mom came in. As I said, many of you here do not know me, and for those that do, I just pray that you have forgotten the person that I was in the 8th grade. It was my mom who made me into the person you all know and hopefully love today. In the 8th grade, my mom and I had been rushing to get my little brother to hockey practice, and immediately afterwards, she needed to turn around in order to drop me off at the state office building for the annual St. Patrick's Day Fair, because that's where I was volunteering. But when we stopped for gas, the car broke down. Assuming that you have all been outside in mid-March, it was very cold. And as my mom was making phone calls, trying to make sure Christian had a way home and that I could make it to the festival, I was very cold. Because I didn't like to wear jackets. And the volume of my hair trapped under a hat in the snow makes me look like a wet Pomeranian. Her solution came in the form of 2 grande salted caramel mochas, our favorite winter drinks. That way I could be happy drinking my favorite drink as she made sure I stayed warm in the oversized coat that she had taken off of herself and placed upon my shoulders instead. And I said no, in fear of the interaction that I would have with the cashier. She then pressed on about how she knew I wanted them, so I should go and buy some for the 2 of us. And the thought of me entering Starbucks by myself had me in tears. Because while many people say that my mom is the nicest person they've ever met, she's mean and scary. So not only did I cry after getting our drinks, I cried beforehand because she yelled at me so much. This process repeated with almost every situation imaginable. Bubba, which is what she calls me. Go call Spectrum and pay the internet bill. Bubba, you need to actually dance in the front or they're never going to give you the lead. Bubba, you need to actually ask a worker if they have that shirt in your size. For 17 years, she put up with me, having me do all of this stuff. But in retrospect, it wasn't hard at all. She is the one who does all of the hard things. She is the person I am. She is the reason why I'm the person I am today. Several weeks after I was born, my mom went on deployment to Afghanistan so that she could support me and my siblings, Macy and CJ. And once her service was up, she was offered a big shot promotion in Washington, D.C. But she recognized that in taking that promotion, she would lose even more time with us. And instead of getting her fancy office job in D.C., she was transferred to work in the field of Fort Drum. And when she realized that my younger brother and I were headed to college, she took it upon herself to completely change her career path so that when the time came, she could continue to support us throughout our college career. She moved us across the entire continental United States and all the way back to ensure that support. And I resented her for it. But today, I want to take that time to thank her for all of the hard things that she has done that I haven't appreciated. Because for 17 years, she has lived for me, and not just for me. My mom has had 4 kids. Now, I don't know why she didn't stop at 2, but I'm sort of glad she didn't because I am the 3rd. But my mom does so much for me. She was fully prepared to drive 1 hour and 40 minutes to get here from her workplace in Seneca Falls to be here today. She makes that trip at least 4 times a week to come and see me, and she was about to add even more to it. But sadly, she wasn't able to spare the time because not only does she take care of me, but she also is in charge of about 200 residents in her nursing home at Seneca Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. But I at least know that all of you can vouch for me when I say how grateful I am to my mother and just how much I love her. So thank you, Mom, for everything that you have done for me and Christian and Macy, because you are the reason we are all here today and why we are who we are. And thank you all for listening.
We now come to Jocelyn Kreider. Jocelyn is a published author who hopes to help others through her work. She loves to bake and design multiple things and writes songs and helps others whenever she can. Jocelyn is thanking her grandparents.
Sometimes it's better to drown in the ocean than trying to stay afloat. To take a moment to process instead of struggling against the current. To allow yourself to feel instead of reacting on impulse. To allow yourself to be simply human instead of letting society's views of sinners and saints guide your way or influence you. In society, there are numerous individuals who hide behind a mask and a painted smile. Individuals who do not want others to see who they truly are. Individuals who observe from the shadows and pretend to be okay. Those like them continuously search for someone to see behind the mask. And sometimes there is someone who can. When there is an individual who can do this, they give hope to that person. They inspire that person to help others like how they help them. They inspire them to reach out to others and let them know that they are not alone. I used to be that kid sitting in the back of the room, observing those around me, but now I write and use my work to help those in shackles. I would not be this individual standing here before you who can turn observation and understanding into words that provide an invisible friend whose warm embrace centers the mind, if it weren't for those who I'll be thinking today. I know that I don't say thank you as often as I should, but I show it in many other ways. I'm not that good at letting people in and showing how I feel, so I try to show it through my work, baking, crafts, and more. However, sometimes words can mean more than a simple action. I used to be self-conscious about what I wrote. When I first began my journey to becoming a published author, Due to this, I gave up my dreams of becoming one when I was younger, and I tried moving on to something else. But years later, I began to write again. I wanted to give up again, but just as I was about to, my grandparents stepped in. They led each and every song, letter, design, description, speech, and book that I have written. With each piece of my work they read, I would be extremely nervous. But instead of receiving negative comments on them, both of my grandparents, all of them, would express how much they like them. They would even get into a discussion with their friends and I about them. To this day, one of my 3 grandpas or grandmas would tell me to take out one of my writings so they can show it off to the friends. However, that is not the only thing they have done. When my life started to become too much for me to handle, my family was there for me. But my grandmas would call me or stay up with me late at night to check in on me and see how I was doing. My Nonna and Grandma Dee would call me, asking me how I was and what I've been up to lately. Often we would end up talking about my first superhero series that I'm currently working on. And still am working on but have on hold. This made me happy, and I think they knew that. Since not only is it something that I'm passionate about, but they helped me express myself through what I wrote. My grandma Holly, she would stay up late at night with me when I would have a breakdown and help me calm down. When she's very tired, she still offers to stay up to 3 a.m. to help me finish an assignment, even when it involves lighting my homework on fire to match the time period it was based off on. My grandfathers would help me build things, come up with designs, and sit with me in silence when I just needed someone to sit next to me. They never had to say a word, because just having them close by would help me calm my mind. Thank you to all my grandparents for being there for me. Thank you for your time.
Patrick Dua is our next speaker. Patrick had his basketball coach move a game for the speech. Patrick loves chicken riggies and also can't wait to go home after this final and go to sleep. Today, Patrick thanks his family.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterton, for the introduction. Growing up, I was a bit of a mischievous child. Up until the end of 7th grade, I attended IHC, where I frequently found myself in conflict with the nuns during my time there. Coming from a household with 2 immigrant parents, my behavior did not sit well with them, as they expected me to be more focused on my academics. Although in reality, my grades were relatively high, even with my extracurricular activity of arguing with the nuns. Now as a junior in high school, I can see that my parents did not believe that my grades were not high enough or that they thought I was a troublemaker. Instead, they wanted to instill a sense of hard work and discipline within me. This is why I'm taking the short amount of time today to thank them for everything they have done for me. Dear Mom, Dad, Dominic, and Gabby, I'd like to begin by saying thank you for everything you've done these past 17 years. To my brother Dominic, who looks like he's in a Zoom meeting right now, I cannot thank you enough for constantly pushing me to do my best. I used to get mad at you when you would pick on me for not being as good as you at soccer, losing to you in video games, or when you would practically knock me out whenever we would box for fun. Although it might sound cliche, all the times you picked on me pushed me to do better. Not because I wanted you to stop making fun of me, but because I wanted to be able to compete with my older brother. I truly wanted to be more like you. Dom had always one-upped me, whether it was in sports or the classroom, by obtaining better grades than me and winning more awards, to the point where I was known as Dom's younger brother, whether it was from coaches, teachers, or even from people I don't know. This annoyed me, as I thought I was living under my brother's shadows, but now I feel lucky to have my brother to look up to as someone I strive to be more like. Dad, first let me start by saying sorry. I'm sorry for crashing your beloved car that you've had for 11 years, even if I was technically not at fault. I want to thank you for your forgiveness and nonetheless still trusting me to drive. Thank you for always talking to me about stocks and how the market works, which has ultimately resulted in my goal of majoring in finance when I attend college. I know that your reasoning for getting on my case is studying to work harder so I can achieve my goals in the future. You have also instilled in me the importance of helping others by making me a great aid whenever you ask me to bring you water because your back hurts. In all seriousness, you have demonstrated these qualities to me through your hard work and care for others in the community and in your workplace, especially through the COVID-19 pandemic. Mom, words cannot describe my gratitude for you. Everything I want to thank you for cannot be written in a short paragraph. I'm so lucky to call you Mom because of all you do for others. Between your work for the community and your genuine care for our family, you are the best mom in the world. The love you share is expressed through your hours you put in at the hospital and your outstanding hugs and kisses you give me so often. I want you to know that your hard work and dedication to everyone never goes unappreciated. Gabby, if you're watching this on the YouTube live stream, I extend my gratitude to you as well, but you're too far for an entire in-depth memoir. Despite your distance, I want you to know that I'm grateful for your sisterly guidance throughout my life, and I wish that you could be here tonight. Lastly, I'd like to thank everyone in here for your time and attention. Thank you.
He is great. He has saved the world not only once, but 4 times. He is the first and strongest and best looking son of Brian. He is the final speaker of our Group 1. He is Logan Audius, and tonight he thanks his best friends.
Thank you, Ms. Chatterton. I didn't ask her to say any of that at all. That was awesome. Thank you. Okay. Ethan, Molly, I don't know if I've ever properly expressed how I feel about our relationships, but I would like to do so now. Ethan Mustizer, my best friend and business partner. Ethan Mustizer, that small, pale-skinned 5th grader wearing the floral shirts. Ethan Mustizer, the guy who, as a result of befriending, helped form the ideologies we share today. Your openness to ideas, concepts, and people paired with our need to be original and stay true to our virtues has caused us both to pursue a career together, and it couldn't be a better fit. I believe, with my entire being, that you have been the most influential guy in my life, at least so far. Although we have our differences and occasional arguments about morals, we always fall back on each other for creative reassurance and personal internal conflicts. So I would like to just say thank you. Thank you for sticking with me for what is coming up on 8 years soon. I value our friendship above most things, Ethan. You might as well be my brother. Honestly, I wish I had twice as long to speak because I have so much I could say about the both of you, but I don't, so I'll keep it short and concise. Loving, caring, attentive. These 3 words perfectly describe a woman named Molly Fields. She's always watching out for me when I won't. She gives me the strength to get up and do something with myself when I can't. She is the sweetest person, so full of emotion in the best way possible. Whenever you do something, whether it's writing a card, buying a gift, or working on a school project, you always seem to pour so much care into it, and it amazes me every time. I hope that no matter what, we can always spend time together. Molly Fields, I have never met someone like you, and probably never will again. Ethan, without you by my side, I would make so many stupid little mistakes. You both helped to shape my mindset, personality, and humor. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, that is group one of our public speaking final. Big round of applause, please, for these students. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for your beautiful speeches. I am excited for the second half. I don't know if emotionally I can handle it, but that was beautiful. So we're done a little bit earlier than expected, so I have a favor to ask of all of the students that have already spoken here in this first group. I would love for you to get a picture with the people that came here to support you and that you were thanking tonight. And then I'll have you send those pictures to my school account, because I would love to put together, you know, a CD, I don't know if that's even still a thing, or a website of some kind that you could access with pictures from this beautiful night. So since we have time left before our kind of class-only birthday celebration for Logan, get some nice pictures with all of your loved ones, and then everyone can head out. So thank you so much.
Testing 1, 2.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight as we begin Group 2 of our public speaking finals. As the students already know, I could not be prouder of this group. And I cannot thank you all enough for being here to support them as you do day in and day out. This is an amazing group of kiddos, and I am so pleased to be here to witness their final, encompassing how far they have come. To kick off our Group 2 of speeches, we have Gavin Trokey. Gavin likes cats, and his favorite color is dark purple. Gavin also hates cliche introductions, just like this one. Here is Gavin.
There we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. You, as a person, are very lucky to be alive right now. Not because the world is great or anything, far from it, COVID sucks actually, but because the chances of you being born are so vastly improbable. The fact that you are breathing, alive, and conscious is a chance that is only rivaled by winning the lottery, a couple million times in a row. Yet I still can't manage to win it once. But now, take that chance and multiply it by 2, divided by 7.8 billion people, and that's the chance of not only having you win the sperm race, to fertilize the egg, but having your parents be the ones to conceive you. Well, what can I say? I'm a fast swimmer. I guess that's why I'm on the swim team. But let me just say this. There is no word to describe the amount of love, of passion, of respect I put into these words every day. I love you. Seriously, my mother is the one that gets food from the store, makes the food. You know, sometimes she'll even let me have the food if she's feeling real nice. On a side note, she also gave me life, but as she knows, I exist solely to consume food. In all seriousness, she is one of the best parents I could have asked for. She's always there for me, even through the difficult times. And although we don't hug each other all that often, Mom, I know you'll always be there for me. Mentally, and when I need that shoulder to cry on, you are always there for me. I mean, what else could a son ask for? More than having a roof over my head, more than keeping us financially stable, more than forcing me to come to an education that I really don't want to come to, but you make me in anyway. And someone still drives me to school every day, and you know, I appreciate that. Sometimes it isn't even my mother. Sometimes it's Steve. We have a strange relationship, I think. Have you ever been in a car with a friend you barely know? Like, more of an acquaintance than a friend, right? They just happen to let you into their car, and out of the kindness of their heart, they are taking you wherever you want to go. Well, I think that's the best way I could describe what Steve and I have. He is that friend that takes me wherever I want to go. But I couldn't ask anything more of him. We've lived together for a decade now, and we can barely remember each other's birthdays, but I still respect him. In fact, he's probably the reason why I live the way I do now. He's been in the military for a while now, and a lot of the things I've enjoyed in my life were covered by his expense. And I rarely ever say thank you for it, so let me just say it now. Thank you. Even though we aren't the closest people in the world, I know that I can always count on you to be a part of my life I can trust and talk to. I know that parents are kind of obligated to do that, but I feel as though it is my duty to do as much in my power to pay them back with my success in life. I could sit here talking for hours about how blessed I am as a son to have these two as my parents. In fact, I've probably had a few existential crises just thinking about the chances and the probability. But they were good existential crises. So thank you, and thank you all for listening. I can't wait for the rest of these people's speeches and hear their heartfelt and probably overly cheesy thank yous to all the people here. Have a great night, y'all.
Now we have Leah Ann Rose Lucet. Leah loves to sing and play drums, piano, ukulele, and guitar. She is a proud Filipina and loves to put together swag outfits. Here is Leah.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. What I realized while living on this earth is that I don't formally say thank you enough, especially to the people who deserve the credit the most. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for sending me such beautiful and loving souls that I'm so blessed to call my parents. Annalyn Pador Lucet and Luis Alipio Pilipada Lucet, Nanay and Tatay. My parents may be older than everyone else's parents. I mean, my mom did give birth to me at 39, but that also means that the time for me to take care of them instead of them taking care of me will come even sooner. I know it sounds like I'm just saying it because I am their daughter and that's what daughters are supposed to do, but truthfully, I do realize how much they actually impact my life, from being my #1 supporters to performing acts of service for me, no matter how tired or lazy I may be. We take advantage of the fact that our parents already provide us with shelter and a place to eat and sleep. But now I understand that I'm truly blessed to have these basic necessities that not a lot of people in the world possess. Over the years, as I learned to take on responsibility and discipline, I have noticed recently how hard and tiring it is to do simple and little things. Till this day, I still find my mom doing these little things for me, like packing me some bomb dumplings for lunch or doing my laundry. As I got older and as life got harder, I realized how much my mom would go out of her way to do these things for me, no matter how tired she was from working an overnight shift. I am so amazed by her determination in being a role model and a mother, and I truly see how hard it is to do all it takes. My mother has done so many things in life that she has never been fully acknowledged for, knowing that she wholeheartedly deserves all the applause. I don't know if she realizes how much I truly appreciate her for doing these things for me, especially when I get super exhausted and stressed from school and basketball. Not only did I observe the things that my mother has accomplished, I noticed the things my dad has achieved as well. I love how he always cooks rice, egg, and corned beef for me on Saturday mornings for breakfast, sort of like a little tradition. In the winters, I hear his footsteps very early in the mornings on the way to the front door to go outside to plow the monstrous piles of snow and to warm up all of the cars and get them ready for departure. He does all of this before he leaves for work at around 6 a.m. I realize how much of a commitment it takes to be the one to lose sleep just to get everyone else ready for their day. I truly admire his hard-working mentality and that he does so much for this family. I see him struggling on his little desk with his reading glasses and the lamp turned on, stressing about bills and taxes and other payments. He is also big with recycling, and I would always hear him yell, "Plastic to plastic and cardboard to cardboard," whenever my hand would secretly be hovering over the garbage can holding a plastic McDonald's cup. Yes, I have acknowledged all these good things my parents have done for me physically, but I also notice how sometimes I don't do it as often as I should. So I also wanted to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the times that I didn't notice your effort and how I didn't see how hard you tried despite that failed end result. I'm sorry for the times when you would speak to me and I would respond in an inadequate tone. I'm sorry for the moments that when you do try to get closer to me, but then I end up pushing you away. I'm sorry for the moments when I make you feel like giving up. I see that sometimes you stress and worry about a lot of things, and I just wanted to tell you that everything is going to be okay. So when I say that I'm thankful for you today, I really hope that you see that I mean it. Thank you, Nana and Tatay, for putting up with me and supporting me even when life gets rough. Thank you for guiding me through love and allowing myself to do the same for others. Thank you for teaching me to cherish all of the memories and to live life to the fullest. I am tremendously proud of you both, and I love you guys so much, Nana and Tatay. And to everyone else, thank you for your time.
Third, we have Jeremiah Briley. Jeremiah is laid back and calm and likes to make jokes. Today, Jeremiah is thanking his dad.
All right, as you all just heard, I am thanking my dad. And just start this off, Dad, I want to say thank you. He's all the way back there. He's raising his hand so you can see him. I'm not sure whether or not you realize this, Dad, but you are the most important man I've ever had in my life. To say I'm lucky to have you is an understatement. And just having you here today means a lot to me. I remember back in freshman year when my grades were not the best. They were really bad. But you made sure I got back on track, and you gave me the reason to keep up, and I'm thankful for that. When I started playing basketball for fun, you would always play me. I don't think I've ever beat you. Well, not that I recall of. And that fact that you never let me win would always make me want to beat you. Still haven't done it, but one day I will. You are the only reason I am who I am today. I couldn't imagine a life without you. And you are by far the funniest person I've ever met. You are the reason why when people need a good laugh, I can tell them a joke. Or when people need to hear a laugh because they're not in the right mood, I can laugh. And I know that no matter what, you will always support me, as you've said this multiple times. I just want to thank you for having a house for me to live in, food on the table every day. And I don't know if you know this or not, but my goal in life is to lead a life like you. Have a wonderful family over there. And you are my #1 role model. You helped me get into a lot of sports. I enjoy when we do 1v1 fantasy footballs. I think you're definitely smarter than I am at that, but still do it. Or which team would win the Super Bowl that year, or who would get MVP. And as far as basketball goes, we have a generally, both our teams suck. If we're being honest here, we both know it. And so we usually tend to agree more on that. We both don't like LeBron, I'm sorry for anybody that does. And so with all that being said, Dad, I want to thank you for the best 17, almost 18 years of my life. Thank you.
Next, we have Fanata Amadou. Fanata's favorite food is fried rice and chicken, and her favorite color is lemon green. She loves to dance whenever she feels bored, and tonight she is thanking her dad.
Dear Dad, I might not say this a lot, but it doesn't mean I don't mean it. I wrote this to thank you for showing me what hard work looks like, and thank you for sharing me your love, sense of humor, excitement for every experience, and for your support. in every challenge I face. Thank you for spending countless of hours with me after you got home from work. Thank you for giving me a shoulder to cry on when things are bad, and to letting me know that my world wasn't crashed on as much as I believe it was. Thank you for coaching me from the silence before and every after tennis game I play. Thank you for getting to know my friends, all of them, and to making sure I was choosing them right. Thank you for showing me how to fight for what I believe in. In life, love and everything in between, but giving me the strength to stand up for myself and expect nothing but the best. Thank you for understanding when I take a leap of faith and for supporting me in my journey, even if it doesn't seem logical at times, for recognizing that it's what I need to hear. Thank you for making me celebrate my birthday in a limousine. I know it's not anything that every kid gets to celebrate, and I know how lucky I am to be able to do that. Thank you for teaching me how to live a good life and teaching me the lessons on how to match. Dad, without you, I would be nowhere near the person I am today. And I'm still working on, because there aren't enough ways to express my appreciation. But I think it's a good start. Thank you. And I love you. I may not always say I love you as much as I believe, but I can say I have a big place in my heart only for you. Thank you, Dad, for raising me so perfectly. Getting that like you by my side makes me what I am today. Thank you so much for supporting me unconditionally. God has blessed us in so many ways, but the biggest of all is you. You deserve the best always. I have a heart full of love for you. You have raised me with all the love and kindness in the world. Thank you for being so nice and caring. Thank you for everything. Without you, I might not be the person I am today. My dad is a role model for any child, and he has been my role model since the day I was born. You always make me happy. I am blessed to have you in my life. You taught me how to live, how to love, and how to rise when I fall. I would like to thank you for being the best role model in my life, and also for being the hero when I need help. When I'm sad, you are always there to cheer me up, even if you are loaded with things to do. You still make time to talk to me. Thank you for complimenting me when I achieve something and congratulating me. Thank you for spending so much time, love, and money in your effort. I really appreciate that. You have taught me so many things: love, responsibility, kindness, respect for others, and you have taught me the value of good manners. I thank God for giving me the best dad in the world. I'm so blessed because you're my dad. Thank you for being my dad. Thank you.
We now come to Hayden Gates. Hayden likes pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. He is not into yoga, and he has half a brain. Yeah. Oh, he is thanking his mom and Michaela Gwill tonight.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Hayden Gates. I'm a senior here at Watertown High School. I've gone to the Watertown district my entire life. First Knickerbocker, then Wiley, then Case, then here. I've lived in the same house ever since I was born. My mom is someone who has always been in my life. Obviously, she is my mom. She's a lot like me in a lot of ways and a lot unlike me. We argue and fight and disagree on a lot of things, but she's always been there for me. And at the end of the day, she's someone who's helped me through a lot of tough times. I know I can be a jerk, and I know I complain a lot about stuff she has no control over. Granted, I do complain about stuff she has control over, but that's a different topic for a different day. Kids and parents fight. My mom has basically shaped me into the person I am today. She's always encouraged me to be my truest self and encouraged me to pursue the things that make me happy. She supported me no matter what, every step of the way. She taught me how to clean, how to cook a limited menu of things, how to excel in school, and how to be the best version of myself I can be. She's one of my moral compasses. We fight and disagree, and there are things I'm sure we will still not see eye to eye on. But I wouldn't change any of it. It's the life she gave me. It's the life I've gone through. Sure, I probably didn't want to play sports nearly as much as I did, nor did I want to stress myself out with advanced classes and accelerated programs. I want to focus on the future, though. You're one of the kindest people in my life. You've been so generous and so understanding to me. So thank you for being an amazing influence in my life. I'm Hayden Gates because you helped me along the journey, and eventually I wish to be rich enough to buy you that Florida house you want. Another person who I would like to thank is my girlfriend, Michaela. She's been my best friend since this whole pandemic started, and she's helped me through a lot of tough times. I've had some hard experiences and some bad moments this past year and a half, and she's been there every single time to help me through it all. She's always there for me. She always knows exactly what to say to help me out of tough moments and how to help motivate me to keep going. If it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be right now. I've grown a lot as a person, and so much of it is because of Michaela. She's someone who, no matter what, I can always get along with. We have the same interest, we know how to make each other laugh, and we can bounce right off of each other. It's always amazing to be in the same room with you, Michaela. It's honestly a shame you don't get to go to school with me and experience all the craziness of pandemic school. You've really changed my life, significantly for the better. You've helped me through an incredible amount of stressful situations. I can feel like the world is ending, and you can calm me down perfectly and help me see the reality of my situation. You're always there for me. My favorite moments are when I can just hang out with you and be my truest self. I never question what to say when I'm with you, Michaela. You are very kind and selfless. You truly care about those around you, and I notice it and believe it to be a truly genuine characteristic you have. Mom, you are understanding and always listen, even when I complain a lot. So thank you both for being the most important people in my life and helping me every step of the way and every single chance you get. We may not always get along the best, but we help each other grow and become better people together. Thank you, classmates, Mrs. Chatterton, audience, and others for listening.
Alana Maston is our next speaker. Alana is 5'1", a powerhouse soccer goalie, and commonly mistaken for a 12-year-old. She is thanking her mom and dad.
When I heard that I had to write a thank you speech, I was at a loss for words. Don't get me wrong, I have plenty of people in my life I could thank. My problem was having to narrow down the list. Who is the most important person in my life? There's an abundance of people around me who have shaped the person I am today. My friends, family, coaches, and teachers have all impacted my life. But where did it all begin? My parents. Yes, I know thanking your parents is probably the easiest speech you could write, but I'm not writing this for a good grade. My parents are the most important people in my life. My mom and dad have taught me the fundamentals of life, from as basic as learning how to walk to learning how to drive a car. I don't know where I'd be without them. Throughout my years of schooling, they're the ones who pushed me to do my best. My parents told me to challenge myself because they knew that if they didn't push me to my limits, I would never reach my full potential.
Out of the two of them, my mom has always been there for me whenever I needed advice. Whether it's about boys or how to braid my hair, my mom is always there to talk me through it. I can always depend on her for countless rides to sporting events and late night talks about literally anything. On the other hand, my dad has helped me be successful throughout my many sporting careers. He coached my softball, baseball, and soccer teams growing up. My most successful sport with him has been soccer. He's been my coach for about 9 years. To this day, not a game goes by without hearing his constant criticism from the sidelines after every mistake I make. But it worked out because in the end, he broadened my horizon to new possibilities, new skills, new friendships, and new rivalries. Throughout that time, I've won numerous championships, and I've grown to be the athlete I am today. All in all, I would just like to say thank you to my parents for being there for me these past 17 years. Without them, I would never have become the compassionate, courageous, caring, and competitive person I am today. They've shaped my personality and the way I see the world around me. Although I may not say this much, I appreciate everything my mom and dad do for me. I can never complain about my life because I know that there are kids out there that don't have parents to look out for them or even care enough to be a part of their life. I really do have some great parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, and everyone here tonight.
Our seventh speaker tonight is Ethan Mustizer. Ethan is 6 feet tall, a feminist, and single. He is thanking his best friend, Logan.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Quote, Logan Audius. 7 years ago, I met Logan in Miss Loveland's class. He would wear the sugar skull hoodie and he had blue hair and the sides of his head were shaved bald. In chorus class, there were two people that wanted to stand next to me, Logan and this other kid. I would switch who it was I stood next to every other day, but I always wanted it to be Logan. There are words, phrases, and abstract concepts that only Logan and I understand, like the idea of Hutchinsoning something. Logan is creative. Whenever he gets a Wendy's 4 for $4, he puts the chicken nuggets and the fries on the burger. I really doubt he likes it better that way, but at least he thinks he does. Christmas Eve of 2020, I walked through the wintry mix and breeze to his house, and we chilled in the garage, and he got me a pen, the very pen I used to write this speech. Then we played with the VR while sitting in the Jeep that Brian was working on. Today is Logan's birthday, his 18th birthday. He is now a grown-up. We truly have grown up together. Me, Molly, and his 10 years of being best friends is coming up in 2 years. He and I's strongest bond is our synonymous moral structure. One of the most important morals that Logan and I hold steadfastly to is the absence of banality. We get absolutely anal about anything banal. He is my best friend. He isn't always there for me, as that's an unreasonable expectation. But a spiritual bond holds up my frame and his, full-heartedly. I know he is there, and the prospect of us having a grand old time together is always there. And I will end with a quote from Logan Audius. No man is an island entirely of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me, for I am involved in mankind. Any therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Thank you.
Next up is Anmalika Bola. Anmalika speaks 4 languages. She loves to carpool karaoke with Chiara, and she is an avid photographer. Anmalika thanks her parents tonight.
Hello, everyone. As Mrs. Chatterton mentioned, my name is Anmalika Bola, and I'm delighted to be here tonight, sharing a piece of my life with all of you. When I sat down to write this thank you speech, I realized very quickly that words cannot express the feelings I have towards the greatest gift God has given me, my mama and papa. Then again, I'm sure that we are all well aware actions speak much louder than words. Standing here tonight, I now understand the true weight this phrase carries. I love my parents wholeheartedly, not only because of their everlasting support, but also because of the massive influence they've had on me and the person I aspire to become as I journey through the stepping stones of life. My parents' influence has wrapped me in a blanket of love. All of their small acts serve as threads, which are weaved together for a greater purpose, giving warmth, comfort, and safety. I love my parents for each and every thread. The hugs before I get in my car, the text reminders throughout the day to keep me on track and updated on the mischiefs of my dog. The advice they share with me on anything in life, except for calculus. The early morning rides to school and the late night drives for some McDonald's ice cream and French fries. The constant motivation to aim high and reach for the stars. The cultural and religious values they've instilled into my brother and I. The nightly tradition of eating dinner together as a family in a kitchen full of the aromas of spices and family recipes. And perhaps, most importantly, their willingness to lend a helping hand, an attentive ear, and a full heart to not only my brother and I, but to everyone whose lives they touch. Now, don't get me wrong. My blanket of parental love has some frayed edges as well. The threads unravel with the fights and quarrels. I will admit, most, if not all of these, are a cause of my stubbornness, which I take full responsibility for and would like to apologize for. From petty things like me forgetting to put the cap on the toothpaste tube, to quite major things like losing my wallet, I sincerely apologize for everything. Regardless of my shortcomings, my mother and father have been incredible role models for me. To be quite honest, I am baffled by the patience they have for my brother and I. More often than not, they will admit that their favorite child is in fact our dog, Burfy, which I don't find hard to believe because my brother and I are always bickering in the background. No matter how much I wear and tear the threads in my blanket, my parents' love is always there when I need it most, forever serving its purpose. To hold me, to keep me warm, to keep me safe, and to remind me I am loved. My parents are always there for me. They are my constant. They are my home. So, I hope that my speech today has shown at least a fraction of the love that my parents have wrapped around me for the past 17 years. Whenever I feel overwhelmed with schoolwork, my extracurriculars, and meeting the expectations my parents have for me, my papa always says that the high pressures of life are what crystallize me into becoming his diamond. However, it seems that I already have not one, but 2 rare gems in my life. I'm endlessly grateful to God every day for giving me the greatest blessing of all, my parents. Thank you, Mama, and thank you, Papa, for everything and so much more. I love you. And to everyone else in this room tonight, thank you for your time.
Lois Pador is our next speaker. Lois's favorite color is pink. She is bilingual and loves sushi, boba, and shopping. Today, she thanks her parents.
Good evening, everyone. I am Lois Pador, and today I will be extending my gratitude to the people who brought me up in life and made me who I am today. My loving and wonderful parents. They have taught me everything I know in life, and as I get older, they teach me more and more. They might not have taught me how to do these things directly, but their guidance has helped me greatly at any and all ages of my life. Year 1, have patience and things will come. From the very beginning, I was taught that there is a difference between want and need. I knew from the start that I was very fortunate to be provided with everything that I need, and even more fortunate that I also have the things that I want. Year 2, always give to others. This was demonstrated in how my parents treated other people. I observed that they consistently give to others and share their blessings. They taught me that even if I had nothing, I can help other people through kindness. Year 3, listen. They taught me to listen when someone needs to be heard. My dad always said there is a difference between hearing and actually listening to a person speaking. Year 4, communicate clearly. At this age, my dad was in America, while my mom and I were still in the Philippines. Every day, my mom and I would talk to him over Skype, and they showed me how important it is to talk to one another honestly. Year 5, I had to learn to adapt to change because at this age, I moved from the Philippines to New York. Everything was new for me and my parents, so we learned how to adjust together. They showed me that change is normal. Year 6, my parents have always supported me in what I wanted to do. While living in the islands of Hawaii, I aspired to become a swimmer. They showed me endless support and pushed me to the best of my ability. Year 7, I established a new routine because first grade has just begun. They helped me adjust in uncomfortable situations and helped me become more confident in school. Year 8, school has begun and everything gets more frustrating. Whether it be crying at the dining room table over math or not understanding my teachers, my parents have always taught me how to overcome obstacles that exist in my life. Year 9, have discipline within yourself. They taught me that my biggest enemy is myself and that if I want to succeed, I have to take action and push myself until I reach my goals. Year 10, finally double digits. At this age, I was about to start middle school and things got slightly more complex. My parents taught me that determination is one of the key factors in getting things done. Year 11, by putting me in charge of the little things like washing the dishes, folding clothes, and taking out the trash, I gained a sense of responsibility. Being in charge of these chores made me realize that the smallest things in life matter. Year 12, all my life I grew up with no siblings, but having the two most loving parents never made me feel alone. In their love for each other and their love for me, I saw what real love looked like. Year 13, as I enter my teen years, insecurities built up and comparing myself to others got easier. My parents always boosted my confidence and never brought me down. Year 14, in order to understand others and their feelings, I need to understand myself first. As an only child, my parents rarely did everything for me. They found the perfect balance between helping me and training me to become independent. Year 15, my parents worked hard and gave up a lot in order for me to have a good life. Seeing how hard they worked pushed me to always try my best inside and outside of school. Year 16. Starting with the big parking lots to the small streets around our house, my dad taught me how to drive. Being one of my hardest challenges, it took 2 road tests, hours of driving, and tears to finally get my license. And finally, year 17. They taught me that I still have a lot of learning to do. Only 17 years, and I have learned and grasped so much from my parents, but I know there is more to come. Thank you to all of you for listening, and most importantly, salamat nay and tay. I love you both so much.
Now we have Dylan Dupuis. Dylan is a Leo. Their favorite color is red, and they love the band Mother Mother. Dylan is thanking their parents and teacher tonight.
Testing. Okay. First off, I'll start with sucking up to Miss Chatterton. To start, a lot of people don't understand how close we are. From having the same zodiac sign and sharing common interests, like English analysis and true crime, when I first met her, my mental health was not the best. I needed serious help, and I wasn't seeking any. Without her, I would not be in my therapy currently, and she pointed me into the right direction, and I thank her greatly. A lot of people today are thanking their parents. I wanted to do the same, since I am so very appreciative of their efforts. I wanted to say something that had originality to it. So I will be thanking my father for his sacrifices in the military. He cannot be here today because he is at school. I want to thank him for always thinking about me and my brother. Even during his school time, he makes time to play video games with us. He makes time to play with even his father and his brother. I want to thank my mother for her sacrifices as well. She has taken on me, my brother, and not only that, but her brother's son. Sacrifices for not only her own children, but another child is very hard, especially when your partner cannot always be there. My father has been deployed several times, and most times on my birthday. To say that I hate the military is the least of the words I can say about it. I do hate the military for taking my father on my birthday, and I do regret thinking of those times where it could have been my brother's birthday. But I have gone past that and appreciate it for what it truly is, him working to benefit me and my family. And I thank my mother for trying her best to be a working mother as well. She has gone through a cycle that I have seen so much improvement on. She has started her life as a mother, as a stay-at-home mom, which she could not find any interest in, but she has found interest in working, and I'm very proud for that. Thank you. Thank you all for listening to me.
And last, but certainly not least, we have Chiara Weber. Chiara enjoys going to Massachusetts to eat all of the clam chowder. Her favorite color is green, and her secret power is telekinesis. She is thanking her mother, Sharon, tonight.
I have never been comfortable with topics such as these, the open-ended speeches where we have to express our emotions and our thanks in so many words. I find myself disliking them because, Mom, there are no words fit for describing how thankful I am for your presence and your role in my life. You are the most selfless, protecting, and maternal person that I have ever been so blessed to come in contact with. How lucky am I to have had someone like you to raise me
and love me and shape me into the individual I am standing before all of you today. I know raising Michaela, Brennan, and I was no easy task, yet you have weathered every single storm that has been thrown your way, and you did it with a smile on your face and with welcoming open arms. Even when you found yourself in the darkest clouds and endless rain, you provided me with nothing but sunshine and warmth. Looking back now, I see how strong you are, how strong you've always been. I hope you know that you do not have to endure these storms alone, that you have taught me with love and kindness what it means to care for someone, even when the times are hard. That I will always be by your side to watch an episode of Criminal Minds or go for an aimless car ride. As a single mother, you managed to support me at all my sporting events, spelling bees, award ceremonies, and now my public speaking final. I do not know how you had time for all of those things, but Mom, I am eternally grateful. I wish I had the words to describe how much you mean to me, how much you've influenced me. You are my biggest hero, my biggest inspiration, and my biggest role model. So I want to thank you. It will never be enough just saying those words, but it is a place to start. Thank you for being here today and every day. Know that I love you more. Thank you, Mom, and to everyone here who listened and helped me celebrate this woman. Thank you and have a great night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our final. Nice big round of applause for these kiddos. So for my students that spoke in group 1, I'm going to ask you to help me start picking up. So that table right there. And for those students that just spoke to their loved ones, if you could basically kind of form a line leading up to this stage so we could get a picture of you with your loved ones for our class slideshow, okay? Mr. Shanley will take those pictures. Thank you so much, everyone.